Hi, Mr. Minnick here, helping my students with Assignment 6 in Comp Sci 221. We have to do a bunch of select queries and show that we know how to use NetBeans and the built-in sample database that comes with the NetBeans IDE. So here I am, and I'm just going to copy and paste this first way of querying exercise 1, where I'm giving you some help. In exercises 2 and so on, I don't give you that extra help. And now I'm going to go back over to NetBeans. This is our first time that we're using the NetBeans database service. So we click on the Services tab. We come here under Databases, and we double-click this entry where it says, do you want to connect with the sample database through the Derby database server that's plumbed in with NetBeans? Yeah, I do. So let's double-click this. The double-click connects this, and that allows me to click the plus, and click the plus here, and click the plus here, and see that the sample database comes with all these tables. And let's look at the product table that we're going to be making use of. That table has a bunch of fields, and the primary key field, by the way, is product ID. We'll read about that in lecture notes. And I think these are foreign keys that end up being used with some other table, but let's go down the road learning. And anyway, I'm going to right-click on product there and view the data. Over here, it shows you in the lower half of this window all of the records, all of the rows and records in that sample product table. And notice there are 30 of them. Just saying, there are 30 rows. There are 30 things our company sells as products. Now, the first exercise is to only query the ones that are available equals to true, or conversely, have a quantity on hand greater than 0. So notice some of these things like false, 0, false, 0. A handful of these things are like out of stock. So let's figure out which ones are out of stock without eyeballing a list of like thousands or potentially millions of things here. Let's right-click on the product table and go to Execute Command. This gives us a chance to type some SQL, which you'll have to do eventually if I have any tests or quizzes in this class. But I'm just going to paste the code that was given to you as a sample over in my assignments webpage. Now, it's always nice to put a semicolon at the end of SQL. It's sometimes not required, but it's nice. And so with this properly formatted select statement, let's execute it. By clicking this little icon right here, that runs that one statement. And down here is the result. It's the set of records, the record set we call it, sometimes called the result set, that for which this where clause, this criteria, applied. And notice there are 25 records. And if you remember, there were 30 in the whole table. So the ones that were out of stock are not included here. Now notice, this query is only asking for the purchase cost and the description. We don't want all the other busy information. But let's say that instead of that, we put a star in there, and we run that statement. Well, now we're getting all of the stuff. We don't want that, so let's just edit and do that. Let's say we misspelled the word select, which is an SQL keyword, and we ran that statement. Well, nothing happens. Now, it does not squiggly underline. This is not something that compiles. It's interpreted. It just executes, I believe. So let's change it back to the correct spelling. If we do description, comma, purchase cost, well, then we get the results in a different order, or perhaps twice. If you just have purchase cost listed twice, well, then, you get purchase cost twice. See that? Oh, whoops, I accidentally double-clicked, and that sorts it in order if you double-click here. Some other mess-ups. If you pull this data from the wrong table, from like customer, well, I doubt customer has a field called available, much less purchase cost and descriptions. But let's execute it anyway. Well, we get nothing as a result. So there's a lot of ways, of course, to mess this up. And last of all, That's all I have to say about that. Okay, so now how to put this in your Word document. In your Word document that you're handing in as an assignment, your name's at the top, and assignment 6, and then you tell me what the first question was, and you show me your code. And by the way, this could have been amount on hand greater than 0. It would have worked also. And over here in Microsoft Word, one more point. These 2 little hyphens, those create comments in the SQL interpreter. So you could kind of copy and paste those. Watch this. I could kind of decorate my command here, and this would still work. So let's move on now to exercise number 2. Exercise number 2, currently at least in fall 2017, from this assignment, list the purchase cost and quantity on hand of all products with product codes HW, FW, and BK. So let's put that in this little comment here. Try to make this look nice. And here it goes. Now it's your job. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to walk around and help people with exercise 2. But it's your job to type select and then blah, 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 blah that attempts to pull out the specified data from that table. Now in my lecture notes here, this page of lecture notes particularly called SQL Select, if you have to look things up, this would be a good place to start learning the SQL keywords, operators, greater than sign, the word not, where clauses, and everything else you might need. There's more than one way to do this, I'm sure, but get it done so that exercise 2, and then you have a few more exercises to do. And all of this will need to be then placed into your Word file that you'll print out and hand to me as a paper copy and upload to Canvas just so that I am sure to have it so I can grade it for next